Here's my audience. When I was little, I was a very picky eater. I didn't like to eat anything red or green, and I only liked pasta, pizza, and potatoes. Potatoes were my favorite. You could eat them with anything, and they were the perfect consistency to sculpt into a delicious gravy volcano. Today, I'd like to serve you a feast of potato knowledge. First, we'll dig into the history of potatoes. Second, we'll dish out some information on potato famines and blights. Third, we'll devour just how important potatoes are. Unlike common beliefs today, potatoes are not Irish and they are not native to Idaho. Scientific tests on genetics and origins of potatoes shows that all potatoes are actually from Peru. According to the Smithsonian Magazine, about 10,000 years ago, Incans were building splendid cities of gold, temples and highways, and cultivating the potato. All potatoes at the time were poisonous, and Incans noticed how mountainous llamas would lick clay before eating toxic plants. The clay would absorb the toxins, so mountainous llamas would not be poisoned. The Incans mimicked these llamas and dunked wild potatoes in clay water, eventually cultivating a less poisonous potato. Poisonous varieties are still popular today, sold and eaten with clay powder. Spanish explorers conquered Peru and brought back new findings to Europe, including a few potatoes. Potatoes were not popular at first, and rulers had to actually force people to go and eat them. It took 40 years to spread throughout all of Europe. According to Potato Goodness Unearthed, they had to be endorsed by leaders like Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, who wore purple potato flowers as fashion accessories, or Germany's King Frederick William, who ordered peasants to plant potatoes or have their noses cut off. Potatoes were introduced to their homeland of Ireland when Queen Elizabeth gave Sir Walter Raleigh 40,000 acres of land to grow them on. This helped support struggling peasants because potatoes yield a larger crop per plant and per acre than many other crops. Over time, Ireland became more and more dependent on them, making a blight even more devastating. If potatoes were wiped out, all of Ireland could starve. All of the potatoes being grown at the time were actually grown from just a few of the original potatoes that the Spaniards brought back. This is because potatoes are not grown from seeds, but actually little chunks of themselves, making clones. Clones have less genetic variation, so they are more susceptible to being wiped out completely by a single disease. So when a potato blight broke out in Ireland in the 1840s, a horrible famine caused starvation and disease, which killed 1 million people and caused millions more to flee the country. This famous potato famine wiped out half of Ireland's population. Now there are 5,000 varieties of potatoes in many different flavors, sizes, and colors, including red, white, and purple. According to the Northern Plains Potato Growers Association, they are the 4th largest food crop in the world and the 2nd most consumed in America. Every year, Americans consume about 140 pounds of potatoes per person. Amazingly, Europeans eat twice that much. Potatoes could be so popular because they are so easy to grow, but according to the Northern Plains Potato Growers Association, during the gold rush, they were so valued for their vitamin C that they were equal to gold. In fact, humans could survive completely on a diet of potatoes because they are so rich in vitamins, calcium, iron, and good carbs. They have also been believed to have healing powers, and there are many different folk remedies, including potatoes. Incas believed that placing slices of raw potatoes on broken bones, putting a potato in your pocket for a sore tooth, or putting a slice of potato in a stocking and tying it around a sore throat will promote healing. Potatoes are the most important non-cereal crop in the world and are a major staple food. They can be recognized as Mr. Potato Head, who honeymooned with Mrs. Potato Head in Boise, Idaho, and now have 12 beautiful spuds, or as the first food grown in outer space, or as a delicious meal with a side of mashed potatoes. So before you dig into that delicious gravy volcano, take a moment to reflect on just how important that lump of potatoes really is.